I think me, what I would do, draw a budget. When I know the amount I have at my disposal, just have a plan. You need to know where your money is going to. You need to know how much you're spending on particular things. Just basically have a plan.
Hi, we are the Fun Investors.
In our 20s, we did so many financial mistakes. And today we are going to discuss some of those mistakes we did in our 20s. And Brenda, could you kindly share with us one of the financial mistakes you did in your 20s?
Well, let's just say I never had my priorities right. In my 20s, I would just... Okay, let's start from where I had a small salary. It was very small, but again, this small salary, I still never knew how to use it. So, and at that time, I probably wasn't paying rent, so I could just get the money, buy anything and everything. Like sometimes you're in the streets of Nairobi, you see a nice top, I'm just there like, how much is it? I've already bought it. And you realize by mid-month, you're broke. You don't even have transport, so you have to ask for transport again, yet you're working. So I never had my priorities right, really. So I could just spend anyhow. And I know you relate, because, you know, you're young, you feel like, YOLO. So, yeah, I think that was one of the mistakes I made.
Impulse buyers, you see.
Yeah. I was such a big impulse buyer. Like, I could just spend. Like, you know, the way you're not thinking.
Yeah.
You're like, I love this shoe.
Yeah.
My God. And sometimes you buy it, it's cheap, like it's 200 bob. Then you get home, it's a different color. You know those ones in Gara where you get home, it was blue in the streets.
You bought it
but
in
when
the
you get home, it's now white in color. So
Use that in sweets.
Or you watch it at night and then
in the morning when you're wearing it to work, you're like, oh, I thought it was blue. It's actually white. My God.
normally black, but it's actually blue.
Exactly.
When you buy in the night.
That kind of thing.
Yeah.
And you know, you could regret. Sometimes you're not even able to wear this shoe again because it was all wrong from the beginning. You've spent money, it was impulse, and you bought the wrong thing that you didn't even need. And now you're going broke because you don't even have a plan. You're just spending, and you don't have money again to spend, but you're spending anyway. So I think that was like one of my biggest mistake that I made in my 20s. Just impulse buying. Yeah.
Actually, mine is different. It's all about time. The time I used to have, while in campus, especially in my 20s, it was too much. It was actually a lot of time. So many of times I used to just waste that time watching movies and series. My laptop, binge watching. I think no series and no movie used to just pass me by because I just used to buy them and watch them, spend all my time in my room just watching. I only wish if I used that time better by probably learning more about finances, engaging in activities that are building me to know more about finances and grow in that way. Probably I would be better right now, but anyway, I have learned a lot and I tend to now use my time better.
Yeah, definitely.
I think we're guilty. The movie story,
You know? And you
Yeah.
know, when you binge watch,
Yeah.
you sort of just incline your mind towards one thing.
Yeah.
You're not out there networking and meeting people and learning. You're just there, like, binge watching and not learning.
Actually,
It's
most
like
of the
a stuck in a
entertainment-
rut, basically. Yeah.
And most of the entertainment that we get into, rarely is it because we want to learn finances. It's
Yeah.
more like, you want to follow lifestyle, entertainment.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely that's a mistake.
Even the same trap of using TV, saying I'm going to use this as my my teacher, tutor. But you'll find yourself like 5 hours later, they're like, okay, we are still teaching ourselves, but you've done nothing.
Getting derailed
Yeah.
online.
Exactly.
I think also the best thing, instead of doing the movies, just buy a book, which can, whereby you can be able to learn some of these finance matters that can really boost your saving culture, or even to think broadly about finances, not just spending on things that to not turn to value.
And if you're not a book person, like physical, actual book, you can go to Audible, you can go to
Yeah.
SlideShare, Kindle. There's so many
Yeah.
places you can go and look for these things. Like you can also put it on audio so that you just listen.
Yeah.
And as you do other things. So if reading and literally looking at things is not your thing, imagine it's possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we also have podcasts and other places where you can enjoy financial literacy from.
So true.
In fun ways. Yeah. Yeah, and videos like this.
Of course.
Don't
we are
forget to
here.
subscribe.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah. Well, for me, my Nyani, I was one of those keeping up with the Joneses. Yes, Joneses. I was one of those. For me, it was taking loans, and it's been a weakness for me to date. I took a car loan when we started working. We had just gotten our jobs, and within 3-4 months, I got a car loan. Okay, yes, there was pressure at work to get a car because of our jobs, but I still feel like if I took the time to just first understand this whole money concept, like you know how it is when you've not worked for like say a year or two, then you get like some good cash, or okay, maybe to me it was good, but anyway, you get some cash, and then you find yourself, you know, like spending, and you're like, okay, fine, see now I can get a loan, see now we can, I can borrow, I have access.
Yeah.
But then once you take these things, you come to see that there's so much, so many things you have to do. Like you have to pay the loan to the bank or to the SACCO or wherever. You have to pay various servicing fees. So for me, taking a car loan, I think was let's just say, not the wisest thing I did financially in my 20s for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it could also be because you weren't well advised.
Yeah, true.
So you rushed into the loan because it was attractive. I mean, you want to drive.
Yeah.
It's convenient.
Yes.
You're able to go hang out with your friends. It's a sign when you're in your 20s and you're driving. It's also a sign of status.
Yeah.
So you want the status, but then
Yeah.
you're not ready for the commitment of the loan
Exactly.
and paying it off.
Yes.
So yeah, that's the mistake, that we don't do due diligence as well before we get into loans
Exactly.
and stuff like that.
And you see, when the guys come and show you the rates and they tell you, it's just this, in your head you're like, it's
You're just
just
saying,
You're
you're just saying
lying, like
have
just you can afford it, but you really can't. Yeah.
and you're being told,
Yeah.
you can pay for 5
you
years.
get for 5 years.
Yeah.
You're like, it's
Yeah.
okay.
You're like,
But they don't tell you there's interest, which
Yes.
is literally the same amount as the loan you
Yeah.
have taken.
Yeah.
And by the way,
Yeah.
this interest, the longer the period,
The longer,
the
more
the
it
more
the
it
more it
Yeah.
costs and the
Yeah.
longer, the
Yeah.
stress.
So if you go 5 years, you're gonna pay more than someone who does 2 years. So
Yeah.
basically,
Yeah.
if you're to take a loan, make sure
Yeah.
you have a proper plan and finish it as soon as you can.
Yeah.
Like
Definitely.
literally finish
Yeah.
it.
I mean, really what you guys are saying is the truth. And I think because as a person of faith, the Bible actually tells me that, owe no man anything.
Yes.
Yeah.
Except the debt of love,
You know?
And no man actually includes the banks. So, because I've actually seen some houses that have been repossessed, and I'm like, oh Lord.
So let me ask,
Yeah.
does this mean that us who take loans,
Yeah.
see, technically it means we owe
Yeah.
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
So does that mean we're going against what the Bible is saying, or does that just mean as long as you're paying your debt, because there's a part in the Bible that says pay your debts or something,
Yeah.
then that's fine. So
I think
what
where
does
even that is even
yeah.
coming from is
Yeah.
that you don't want to be at the mercy of someone.
Yeah.
It literally means you're
a
indebted.
slave.
You're a slave. I like that.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
your master. You're
Yeah,
a slave.
yeah.
So you no longer can relate to the person,
Yes.
person to person.
Yeah.
But even that relationship that you could have had is impacted.
It's like-
So you're no longer able to really be free with one another.
Yeah,
So yes, I actually see the mistake as something that I also have gone through.
Yeah.
Like just getting into loans without really thinking through what does that mean for my finances
Yes.
going
Yes.
forward.
Yes.
Yeah. So for myself, I think I am the ultimate Kenyan. If you're a Kenyan in your 20s and you're not in a chama, I don't know what you're doing. Yeah. So like I started working like this, and everyone around me was like, let's do a chama, let's do this. I think I got into 2 or 3 merry-go-rounds. We had even a merry-go-round in our office where I was working, where we used to contribute, I think it's 50 shillings a week. And so when you receive the money, because it's merry-go-round, so it kind of, a 50 a week, yeah? So like, how much back then, but the thing is, now we used to receive, now when you receive 1,000, you feel, now I can do something with this money. But then the problem is, there was an eatery across the road, so like you receive the money, you go and buy food,
You cross the
you
road.
waste money.
For the chama for food.
Yeah, it's a chama for food, I guess. Those are wrong chamas. Don't enter those ones. But I felt that, there was always something happening. There are all these financial groups. And because I really desired to be a good steward, so I felt like joining all the groups was something that I needed to do. And I would call that fear of missing out. I didn't want to miss out on this deal. These guys are doing this investment. These ones have this land, So I kind of wanted to just be there. I don't want to miss out on any opportunity. And so I'd say that was a mistake because I spread myself too thin.
Interesting.
And maybe to add on that, if you're doing a merry-go-round, basically it's like you're saving to consume in the future. It's something that you could have done by yourself by just putting aside that money in your own investment. At the end of the day, there is no gain in this particular part. So basically, I think the best thing to do, if you're doing anything to do with a merry-go-round, just remember that you are saving to consume in the future. Just join a group whereby you can invest, and they will be able to make you get to a level that you could not get by yourself.
I actually think,
think about it more. It means if you can get to a merry-go-round, that's something you can do on your own. Just say whatever amount that you have decided as a merry-go-round, this is the much I should be saving per week or per month. At the end of the day, you still have that money as your own merry-go-round.
But now the thought that I have in my mind, why merry-go-rounds were really huge when, back in the days, is because people didn't have either the discipline or even places to save. So now, back then you can think about how expensive it was or how rigorous the process it was to open bank accounts. There were fewer banks. There's a whole process. You need to be referred. You just can't go into a bank and just open an account. So with all those processes, so it was easier for people to do the merry-go-rounds. And by the time the money comes to you, you have a plan for it. But now the problem is we inherited the merry-go-round idea without having a plan for the money that we receive. So our parents, if you think about it, that's how they really advanced themselves. They were able to buy utensils, they were the merry-go-rounds for sasa sufuria ni kwetu, and then the next one, and then the next one we have a cooker in another, and then you even pose for a photo, a group photo. Actually, we have an album at home. But you pose for a group photo with a kettle, and you're so excited because this is an achievement. But now for us, we inherited the merry-go-round ideas. But then we didn't inherit the principle of what do you do with the money when it comes your way. So I think that's actually the mistake that we get all these nice ideas, but then we don't know what was the idea behind it, and so we end up squandering the money that we have.
Mine was a terrible one, and the most annoying bit is that you save after spending. That means you've consumed a bigger chunk of whatever you're earning, and then you're saving little or nothing at the end of the day. And this is an issue that comes up, especially when you get our first jobs. As young men, look at us nowadays. You get the first job, you want to buy a car, you want to live in Kilelesho. At the end of the day, you're not thinking about the future. I think we can always have a platform whereby we get to learn how to save before we spend. That is, save, then spend. But not the other way around, because that is the mistake that we normally find ourselves into.
And I'm just thinking about the young men. Now we have to talk about young men because there's affirmative action here. So.
Boy child, eh?
Boy child. But do you think that why they easily get into that mistake is because of social status? Like you want to prove yourself to be a man. So anyway, I would just say, yes, it's a mistake because they rush into the status before thinking about what does that really cost. So first, think about saving. That would be the solution. Save fast and then spend instead of rushing into the spending, rushing into the status without thinking about how much does it cost to sustain that status.
Do any of you feel like you do anything different with what you did with your financial mistake in the 20s?
I think me, what I would do, draw a budget. When I know the amount I have at my disposal, just have a plan. You need to know where your money is going to. You need to know how much you're spending on particular things. Just basically have a plan, a written down budget whereby you track your spending. You know where your money is going. you don't have to be shocked at, hey, see, I had a K.
Yeah.
Where did this money go to?
Yeah.
Imagine I left the house with a K, now I don't have money.
There's a common quote that says, and we can Google it a bit more. Yeah, but then there's a common quote that says, "Tell your money where to go."
Yeah.
So don't just allow the money to go, but then tell it, like, just order it. So that's why it's important to budget.
Yeah,
For
sure.
Like, tell your money, this is for rent. I'm going to use this for rent. This is for shopping for the house.
Yeah.
This is for school fees. So tell your money where to go,
Yeah.
as opposed to thinking that it will know where to go itself.
True.
Yes.
I think for me, I'd have a definite realistic needs and wants list. Because as you grow older and get into your late 20s, you start getting into other commitments. Like you either have kids, you get married, you maybe go do more studies or something. So for me, it would be more like, do I need this car now? Or can I save and maybe get a bicycle or get a moped or a motorbike or something, or just use the matatu until maybe 2 years from now when I can afford it. So I need to have, what I feel like I'll tell myself or today is have a needs list and a wants list that is realistic, basically. Yeah.
I think what I would tell my 20-year-old and my fellow 20-year-olds out there, apparently we normally have so much time when we are young, so much free time.
A lot.
And you definitely don't know what to do with that time. That time is the time I would have used for going for entrepreneurship talks,
Exactly.
financial talks, probably invest in financial books, business books. If I'm good at making earrings, do that and sell, or bake cakes and sell to my fellow schoolmates.
Yeah.
I think that's basically what I would have done, and what I would actually advise the 20-year-olds in school. If you have too much time and you don't have a class during your free time, kindly use your skill, develop something.
Thank you for watching our channel. Kindly share your experiences by
Commenting down below.
Remember to like,
Subscribe.
And hit that notification button.
Bye.
Bye.